Hey Madridistas, hope you're doing well, hope you're in good health. The draws for the quarterfinals of the Champions League just ended. We will have some interesting games. Bayern Munich will be playing against Arsenal. UEFA was pretty kind to Real Madrid fans because we will be playing once again against Manchester City. The second leg will be away. Borussia Dortmund will be against Atletico Madrid and Barcelona will play against Paris Saint-Germain. So we'll start by talking about the most interesting games of those quarterfinals. Real Madrid against Manchester City. The games will happen, I think, April 10th and April 19th, approximately. So we're a few weeks away. It's very tough to do predictions. We'll have to look at the form of the players a few days before in order to have a better idea of how the game will happen. But something that is interesting to note is that of the 6 games that we played against them since the 1920 season, we won 1 game. We drew 1 game and we lost 4 games against Manchester City. They are obviously probably the best team in the world. We also need to remember that Bernardo Silva, when he plays against us, plays like he's the second coming of Messi. This will be a difficult game. I think we have the potential to have a good result, but it all comes down to the first game at the Bernabeu. Because last year what happens is that in the first game, we weren't able to get a good result. It was, I think, a draw. And then in the second game, 4-0. Playing against them at their stadium in England is going to be very difficult. We need to at least have a 1-0 or 2-0 cushion. It will obviously also be a battle of coaches. We are hoping that Guardiola will try one of those interesting moves that he makes in the Champions League. Maybe he'll put Haaland as the left back and Bernardo Silva as the center back. We never know. As for Ancelotti, we hope that he won't be putting a conservative and defensive lineup. So we'll see how it goes. I think it's probably the worst draw that we could have gotten. But at the same time, even for Manchester City's perspective, I think it's the worst draw they could have gotten. And if you want to win the Champions League, you need to be comfortable beating every single team that's still in the competition. So we'll see how it goes. And hopefully we'll get a good result against them in the Bernabeu. And we'll go there and we'll get a 1-1. And that should do the job. Now, if we hopefully win against Manchester City, we'll be playing either Arsenal or Bayern Munich. Arsenal is an interesting team in that stage of the competition. Last year, they proved us that they are still an inexperienced team. They were first for the longest in the Premier League, but the lack of experience made them drop points at important moments. And the quarterfinals of a Champions League is an important moment. So we'll see. We'll see how they play. They have very good players, very young players, and it will be a good experience for them to play the Champions League. And in the years to come, it will become an interesting team to follow in the Champions League. They will be one of the powerhouses of the competition, one of the favorites. As for Bayern Munich, there's 2 aspects to it. They are not as good as they were in the past years. I think they have a confidence crisis maybe. But at the same time, it's still Bayern Munich. And their coach is Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel proved us that he's able to win the Champions League. With Chelsea, he won it with an excellent team that played excellent football. And I think for those types of games, he's a very good coach. On the other side of the table, Atletico Madrid will play against Borussia Dortmund. I think it's going to be a win for Atletico Madrid. They have the better team, the better coach. Even if Sancho is in good form at the moment, Julian Brandt is playing excellent football. I think Atletico Madrid will just be the better team for this game. And lastly, Barcelona will be playing against Paris Saint-Germain. Barcelona, who just like Real Madrid, have been dealing with a lot of injuries. We'll have to see a few days before the game who's going to be available for this game. But thankfully, they're playing against a Paris Saint-Germain who doesn't have the best midfield. So even if Pedri or De Jong are not available for the game, you still have a chance to be dominating the midfield against them. I think obviously for Paris Saint-Germain, the big attraction is going to be Mbappe and Dembele. Luis Enrique is a very, very good coach, and he knows how Barcelona plays and the weakness of Barcelona, the weakness of Xavi as a coach. So we'll have to see the schemes that both of these teams employ in order to win the game. A game that again will be very interesting. Now guys, let me know your predictions for these interesting games. Wishing peace and health upon you. Ciao.